confidential knowledge, text number 14. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhrudavitaha namasyantascha bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Purport. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmajyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That is devotion. Shravanam, Kirtanam Vishnu, and Smaranam, remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate end the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the 5 transcendental rasads. To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily and mortal, everything in the service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the 2nd verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in devotional service guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyanachanashalakaya Chakshurunatana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The verse once again. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So many beautiful points, not only in the verse, but also in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. First thing that Krishna tells Arjuna is always chanting. If you remember the verse, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. He did not say Sunday Kirtayanto Mam. Did he say that? Or weekend Kirtayanto. He said Satatam, which means always. And how? With great determination. Bowing down. When we come to the temple, we bow down to the deities. We worship with devotion. And these all are symptoms of a Mahatma, which means a great soul. A great soul is very, very rare. Like Krishna tells Arjuna, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadhan. Vasudeva Sagamriti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That it is very, very rare to find such a great soul. So there can be no Mahatma without the guidance of a Guru. Bona fide Guru is very, very important. And Prabhupada says an expert Guru. He makes it very, very clear. Talking about Guru, I remember, of course, every morning I hear Houston Bhagavatam live. After that, I hear Los Angeles live from ISKCON Temple. And many, many years ago, there was a lecture by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he was sharing his experience before he met Srila Prabhupada. So let's call him Prabhu to avoid any confusion. He was staying with his friend as a roommate. And they both were good friends. So the friend used to go every day to meet his Guru. And one day he told Prabhu, why don't you also come and meet my Guru? So he said, okay, there's no harm in meeting a saintly person. So he went. When he went there, the room in which the friend's Guru was kind of dark. It was very, very dim light was there in the room, and there was some smoke. Like, in movies you see dhua, dhua, what is that dhua, dhua? It gives like a backdrop, something very spiritual. Of course, in movies they show for romantic scenes, dhua, dhua. But this was like this Guru had all this behind him. So then, a friend introduced Prabhu to his Guru, and then Guru asked the friend, you can sit outside, let me talk to your friend, the Prabhu. And while they were talking, the Guru told this Prabhu that I have a secret mantra to make you happy. Anyone here wants to be happy?
Yes.
Yeah? That means you're not happy because you're looking for happiness, right? Right? So he said, yes, I want to be happy. So he said, I have a secret mantra, but it's going to cost you $100. That should have been a red flag, right? First of all, mantras are never secret. Secondly, you don't charge for mantras, right? So he was so desperate to be happy, he said, sure, he gave $100 and he got a secret mantra in his ear. And when he came home, he was told by this Guru, you should chant this every morning for 1 hour and soon you will experience happiness. And if you want to know what's the secret mantra, he told us online. Bhagavatam class was going on and he declared that secret mantra. Why? Because he realized that was not a true mantra. Any one of you would like to know what's the secret mantra? Yes or no? Yeah?
Yes.
Only 4-5 want to know. We'll go in a separate room and I'll tell you the mantras. Everybody wants to know what's the secret mantra?
Yes.
Oh, for that you have to close your eyes. And I'll watch. Everybody has to close their eyes. I'm telling you, I'm not going to bite you, I'm not going to hit you. Just close your eyes. And you're opening and closing, opening and closing. So then, once I reveal the secret mantra, I want you to repeat right after the mantra is chanted. Okay? Here goes the mantra. Brrr! Oh, chant. That's the secret mantra. And poor Prabhu was doing brrr brrr every morning for 1 hour. And he was not getting any happiness. And because he was so sincerely looking for a bona fide Guru, he came across Srila Prabhupada and took initiation from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That is what Prabhupada is talking in this purport to this verse, that we have to approach an expert guru. Expert guru means evam parampara praptam, one who comes down in strict disciplic succession. What will happen when we accept such a guru? He will show us the process by which we can become happy. And now just now all of you agreed that you're looking for happiness. And here is the formula. What is the formula? Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always chanting my glories. What do we chant? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So besides chanting, the Guru also teaches us to read Srila Prabhupada's books, to associate with devotees, to do service, do seva in the temple, to preach, to distribute books. We have a wonderful festival coming up. What is that called? After Radha Ashtami? Very important festival. Bhadra Purnima. Yes? That's when we get the opportunity to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all the Vedic literature. So this verse is talking, chanting always, but how? With great determination. When we want to make money, do we do that with great determination? Or we say, it's okay, money comes fine, doesn't come fine. Yes or no? There's great determination. Why? Because we want that money. So here, if we want Krishna Prema, then we have to follow with great determination. A beautiful pastime we can hear from Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is Dhruva Maharaj. How old was Dhruva? 10 years? 15 years? 5 years old. Just 5 years old. And that little 5-year-old boy felt very insulted when his stepmother did not allow him to sit on the lap of his own father. And what did he do? In all that anger, when we get angry, anyone here who doesn't get angry, please raise your hand. I don't think any hand will go, right? We get angry. When do we get angry? When we don't get what we want. When things don't go our way. So here Dhruva Maharaj was so angry, he went straight to his first guru, that is his mother, Suniti, and said, I want a kingdom greater than my father, even greater than Lord Brahma. What should I do? And the mother, she said, from sages I have heard that only God can help you. Okay, where can I find God? Does anyone know the address of God? Address? Phone number? Phone number is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All we need to do is just dial in every day and we can talk to him. And the address is Goloka Vrindavan, Vaikuntha Gali. What else? Simple, very, very simple. So mother said, if you want this kingdom, then you have to approach God. Okay, where do I find him? In the forest. 5-year-old boy goes all alone to the forest to become the richest man in creation. What do the 5-year-olds do here in this material world? Minecraft? I've learned some video games. I don't play them, but I've heard about them. Minecraft. What else? What video games do they play? It's all about social media. It's all about iPads and phones. When I was flying to Houston at the airport in Atlanta, I noticed that there was a 5-year-old girl, and as soon as they came and waited at the gate, mother sat down. The baby, this 5-year-old sat down, and the first thing mother did was gave her a packet of potato chips, gave her some Coke to drink, and gave her phone to her to watch. what a disaster for a 5-year-old, right? But here Dhruva Maharaj, 5 years old, is gone into the forest to look for who? God. And you know, Narad Muni, have you heard about Narad Muni? Yes? He always comes at the wrong time at the wrong place. Is that so? No, he always comes at the right time at the right place for the right reason. And he approached Dhruva Maharaj and said, "Hey kid, what are you doing?" He said, "I am going into the forest to find God." And at that time, Narayana said, no, go home, play with your toys. I remember today I saw a toy called Unicorn, right? That turns into a car or turns into a whatever. Go play with toys. He said to Narad Muni, if you want to help me, otherwise move out of my way. That is determination. Great determination. So when Narad Muni saw, being his spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, when he saw the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, he guided him. He said, okay, you go to this forest called Madhuvan, and there I want you to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So when he went, he started chanting, but look at his austerity. Srimad Bhagavatam explains in the 4th canto that the whole of first month, he only ate fruits and berries every 3rd day, every 3 days. Any takers? Can you do that? Fruits and berries every 3 days. Not possible. Then the next month, he would eat dry grass and leaves every 6 days. Then he would only drink water every 9 days. And then he would breathe in air every 12 days. Can you imagine the austerity? And because of this great determination, he wanted to become the richest guy. And Krishna appeared before him and gave him darshan. So this verse is saying, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, always chanting, Dhrida Vritaha, with great determination, very, very important. Now when we are talking about chanting, there are many questions that come up. Is there anyone here who does not chant? Please don't feel shy, raise your hand. Anyone here who does not chant? You all chant? Okay, the lecture is over because we are talking about chanting, right? But the question should be, why should we chant? Where should we chant? How should we chant? How often should we chant? And also, are there any rules or regulations? But the most important point is, what is the purpose of chanting? Have you heard about WIIFM? It's not a movie. WIIFM. No. What's in it for me? Right? We want to know. If you're telling me to do something, please tell me, how am I going to get benefit? Say, if supposing I say, Pradeep, I want to do a business with you, right? Let's go get into a business project or whatever. What will be your first question? What's in it for me? What is the profit for me? How am I going to get benefit? But if I say, well, 100% profit is mine, what will you say? Bye-bye. Right? What's in it for me? So we human beings who have philosophical intelligence, we unfortunately forget the most important question of our life, which is, why are we in this material world? And this verse is giving us a formula by which we can become permanently happy. Everybody is busy in the world. Everybody. So many responsibilities, so much stress, so many misery, so much is going on. But Krishna tells Arjuna that by chanting Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, we can experience happiness. Real happiness which is permanent. You see this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. It's very, very powerful. Those sound vibrations are so powerful that once they enter our ears, they go straight into the heart and cleanse the heart of all unwanted things. So when we chant, Prabhupada explains that not only we experience happiness, but we also get rid of negative thoughts, negativity, there is positivity, and the heart also starts getting more and more softer. It brings happiness. Once a king who was very ambitious, he approached a sage and he asked the sage that, can you give me the definition of happiness? And the sage said, butterfly. Did you ever imagine comparing butterfly with happiness? So the king was very confused because sage left. He said butterfly and he left. So now this king was thinking and thinking for many months. He was wondering, what does it mean that happiness is equal to butterfly or butterfly equals to happiness? So one day he was in his garden, he was strolling and he noticed a very beautiful butterfly and he remembered the sage. And so because the butterfly was so beautiful, he started chasing the butterfly. Can you catch a butterfly? Yes? Then you must be an expert. I have tried as a little child, but there was no way I could catch. Yes, you did. Oh, nice. That little boy caught a butterfly. But we adults, we find it difficult. At least I did. So he started chasing the butterfly. And as he was running after the butterfly kept flying further and further. After a few hours, the king was so tired. He came and he sat down. He was sweating. He was all red in his face. And he said, this was so hard. When he was sitting down calmly, the butterfly came and sat on his shoulder. Then he realized, if we chase after happiness, run after happiness, we are not able to grab it. Because our consciousness is, I want to enjoy it. But the moment we become calm and composed and we sit down and we meditate, when we sit down and we chant, that's when happiness comes to us on its own. Does that make sense? You're just saying yes, or you really agree? Right? So here in this verse, Krishna is talking about chanting, which is a very, very powerful tool. And chanting can help us to control our mind, our senses, our heart, our intelligence, and also the whole body. But for that, we have to use our philosophical intelligence and inquire. What did Arjuna do? All through the Bhagavad Gita, he was asking questions. What do we see in Srimad Bhagavatam? Asking questions, like Parikshit Maharaj asking so many questions so that we in this Kali Yuga can get answers to all the questions that we may have. So chanting is a very powerful tool for us to connect with Shri Radha Nila Madhav. Very, very powerful tool. Because the mind, if it's not occupied in chanting or performing Bhakti Yoga, then it's going to go in wrong direction. But chanting makes the mind very, very strong. So now that we've heard so much about chanting, anyone here not chanting at all, please raise your hand. Oh, you're just scratching your head. I thought you put your hand up. Everybody's chanting here? Joy! How many of you are chanting 16 rounds? So the ones who are not chanting 16 rounds, are you ready to chant 16 rounds? Raise your hand and let us take some pictures, right? Proof, right? Some pictures. Because who is going to benefit from chanting? I'm not going to get any commission. I'm not going to get any Lakshmi, but we will get the benefit of chanting the holy name. Chanting actually should be part of our lives, because the question is, how often should we chant? It should be every day. Every day, just like we eat every day, we sleep every day, we go to work every day, we earn money every day, we take care of family every day. So also we should chant every day. Otherwise the mind will become very weak, and before we know, it has gone in all different directions. So chanting helps us to remove the unwanted things from our heart. What do you think are the unwanted things in the heart? Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy. So many impurities are there. So chanting helps us. What's the benefit? It controls our mind, it controls our senses, and properly engages us in the service of Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhava. See? And chanting is prescribed in the scriptures. It's not someone's opinion or interpretation. It is there in the scriptures. In fact, in Kali Santana Upanishad, there is a beautiful verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Iti Sodasatam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasa Nashanam. In Kali Yuga, there is no other sublime method which is better than chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, very nice description is given, where it said, Kale dosha nidhi rajan asti ek mahan guna. Mahan guna, one very, very good quality in Kali Yuga is, even though it's an ocean of faults, the good thing about it is that just by chanting Hare Krishna, we can free ourselves from contamination and go back to the spiritual world. This is what the scriptures tell us. And Krishna himself appeared more than 500 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and showed us by his own example. What should we do? We should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And we should not find shortcuts. Any experts here in shortcuts? We are expert, right, in shortcuts. Somehow or the other, find a loophole and then go for it. When I was in Mumbai, in my Srimad Bhagavatam class, a family used to come regularly, and the boy was about 7-8 years old, and he would sit right in front and very intently hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Then one day, because I have a habit of talking about chanting after every class, so I would keep insisting, please chant, please chant. So one day he said, I would like to chant. So I said, good. Can I have a japa beads, mala, like we chant on japa beads, right? We have mala. So I explained to him that there are 108 beads in this mala, and on each bead we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He said, okay, I will chant. So next week when he came back, he was very excited. He said, do you know, I chant 16 rounds every day. And I was like in Goloka. I was like, 8-year-old is chanting 16 rounds every day. I said, oh, but beta, how do you find time? Because you have so much schoolwork, homework, you go to play. He said, no, I finish in 20 minutes. I'm like, there is something wrong here. I said, can you show me how you chant? And he took a yoga pose. Straight, he's sitting with eyes closed, and he brought his beads and he took it out, and on the first bead he said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I'm thinking, this is 2.5 hours. Right? Yes? If you chant at this speed, it'll take you 2.5 hours to do 16 rounds. But after that, he burst my balloon. What did he do? Ditto, 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 ditto. And he finished the whole round. How smart! I said, what are you doing? He said, well, the teachers taught us, anything you need to repeat, just do ditto, ditto. And that's what I was doing. That's a shortcut. Will we get the benefit? No. That means we've chanted only 16 times, right? The start of the mala, we have chanted Hare Krishna, and after that it's only ditto, ditto. But we have to be very, very careful how we chant. It has to be very, very clearly. If we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Nam 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 Nam, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Nam 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 Nam, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Nam 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 Nam, then guess what will happen? Krishna says, Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam Tyajadante Kalevaram. That at the time of death, whomsoever we think of, that's where we will reach. So guess who will come to see us? Mr. Kish and Mr. Nam. Because we'll be chanting Hare Kish 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 Nam 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 Nam. So they are the ones who are going to come, and I don't know where they will take us. I don't know where is their destination. We got to be very, very careful that we chant very clearly. What should we chant? Hare, loudly. Still loudly. I know you have not eaten prasadam, there's no energy, but louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the magical mantra. And Srila Prabhupada is the topmost magician. In Vrindavan, a magician came to Sri Srila Prabhupada and he wanted to show magic to Srila Prabhupada. Have you all heard about this last time? No. So, when the magician came, he told Srila Prabhupada, give me a coin, your coin. And Prabhupada gave him a coin and he did something, shh, and the coin was gone. Prabhupada said, where's my coin? I want my coin back. Give me my coin. He said, it's gone. So Prabhupada asked him, you can vanish the coin. Can you vanish birth, disease, old age, death? He said, no. Prabhupada said, I can do that. So who is the great magician? Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this chanting is very, very powerful. Srila Prabhupada has taken so much trouble, so many difficulties he went through just to give us Krishna consciousness. It's because of him we are sitting here in this beautiful Houston temple. Do you agree? Yes. Absolutely. It's because of him we have got Srimad Bhagavatam. And now this special festival is coming up on 7th September, which is also a Sunday, which is called Bhadra Purnima. Very auspicious day. It is said that anyone who distributes Srimad Bhagavatam on, especially this whole month, distributes, buys it, gives it as a gift, keeps it in the house, it is very, very auspicious. How many of you have Srimad Bhagavatam at home? Wrong question. How many of you do not have Srimad Bhagavatam at home? Please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Oh, very pious people come to Houston Temple. Very nice. But even if you have Srimad Bhagavatam, this is an opportunity to sponsor Bhagavatam and give it as a gift to your friend, to your neighbor, to your relatives, to your colleagues, or whoever it may be. This verse is teaching us how we can progress spiritually. If we can follow the A, B, C, D formula, then we are on the right path. When the little children go to kindergarten, what are they taught? A for apple, B for bat, C for cat, D for dog, right? Once they grow up, then for them ABCD changes. A for Android, B for Bluetooth, C for chatting, D for download. Yes or no? And with us old people, A for arthritis, B for blood pressure, C for cholesterol, D for diabetes. Yes? Yes or no? Right? We are, right? I'm also old. We relate to that. But spiritually, ABCD is A for association of devotees. Very powerful. B for books like Srimad Bhagavatam. C for chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And D is for diet, eating only Krishna Prasadam. So Srila Prabhupada has very kindly given us beautiful translations and purports to all these different books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's my very humble request to you is that please take advantage of this auspicious occasion. And of course, Patita Pavana Prabhu is going to talk more about Bhadra Purnima. So I'm going to end here. Thank you all so much for your kind attention. Please chant and be happy. Hare